tonight's demo is about the sunset clouds. Okay, so let's get overhead and we will get started. All right, so I have another 10 by 10 canvas here, and let's back up just a little bit. There. Okay, so I'm going to sponge on the background first, and then I have my mops ready to go, and I'm going to be using an angle brush as well. And I want to make this a little straighter. There we go. Okay, so put my colors right here. So first thing I'm going to put out is some light blue. Okay, so if you look at that picture from my ad, there's light blue sky, a little bit of white clouds, wispy clouds further away. And then all these clouds that are getting lit up by the sunset is what you see below and around that light sky. Okay, so I'm going to take my fingers and get water and just dampen my sponge. And I'm going to pick up this light blue, all right? And I'm just going to go ahead and go side to side across my canvas. A little bit of white with that. Okay. And I'm going to get my edges. So this painting all by itself would be a very beautiful painting. Or you could do this with an ocean or something like that in the foreground. Would also work. So I'm going to go ahead and just put the rest of this all the way down, just in case some of it peeps through. Okay, so it's just a very pale blue sky. All right, and then we want that to dry. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and put that, fold that in half and put it in my basin for later. And this needs to dry a little bit. So you want to take a, it doesn't take much to dry it, but you can take a foam plate and just kind of fan it. I just want to make sure that's not going to kind of pick up my other paint colors as we go through this. Okay. So in this sky, in the foreground, we've got lots of different colors, but the deepest color is like a grayish blue. So I'm going to be using this color. It's called Indigo Night. I've used this a couple of times for different things, but I like it for these clouds because I think that combined with a little bit of medium gray is a good base, and then the edges get lighter around it. Okay, so I've got some medium gray, and this is indigo blue. I'm going to get some floating medium out here. All right. And then we're going to need all of our sky colors, or all of our other colors for the clouds from the reflection of the sun. You know that the prettiest sunsets are the ones that have clouds, because the sun reflects as it's setting off the clouds, and that's what creates all those beautiful colors. If you have a clear night, the sunsets are pretty, but they're not as interesting looking, especially from a photographic or painting perspective. So I just put out some vivid orange, which is beautiful for adding to our sky colors. And then I'm also going to put out a little bit of violet pansy. Let's put that over here. Don't need much of that. And then I'm going to put out some pure orange also. There, you can see the difference. It's a pure orange, a little more reddish tone. And then I'm going to put some daffodil yellow out as well. Let's put that right there. Not much of that is needed. Okay, I think I have all my colors out and my medium. So we're just going to tap our plate and get that all flattened out so we can work with it. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is put out my base clouds, which are these dark, thicker clouds that don't have reflection off of them. All right, so I'm going to take, this is my 3/4 inch mop, and I'm going to load that with some medium. I love these mops for doing clouds. And I'm going to come get some of this Indigo Night. All right. And I'm going to get a little bit of the medium gray. Kind of work that in with the Indigo Night. Okay. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to kind of get the shape for our clouds. So we're going to come up here and move it around off the edge. Okay, a little more of that indigo. I want the center of this to be fairly dark. I'm going to tap that in. I think I like that better than the movement. Okay, then I'm going to pick up a little more gray. And I'm going to come out here to the edges and wipe off my brush, get a little more medium, and do those edges. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, so you soften those edges out. Come in with a little more of that gray and the Indigo Night. And as we're getting closer to the horizon, you've got lots of different colors that are going to come in over these, but we need these in the background first. Okay. So once I get those in there, I like to kind of tap them out. And you can kind of wisp a few of them. So up on the chisel, the very tips of this brush, you can soften a few of these out. It's important not to curve these though. There's no curves in clouds, at least not these. I shouldn't say there's no curves because we do have poofs. You've got moundy tops, but they don't curve inside. Okay, now as I get closer to what I'm going to consider my horizon, which is the bottom of my canvas, I want to go ahead and wipe out everything from this brush as much as I can. And I'm going to come and get some violet pansy and a little bit of white. And a little more white. Okay, so that's a very like lavendery color. Now I'm going to get a little bit of that medium gray and work that in. Okay, and we're going to come down here at the horizon, and I'm up on the chisel edge of this brush. I didn't add any more medium. I'm just going to go all the way across here. Okay. And get the edges if you're working on something that has edges. All right, now let's see. I see a few more spots where this might come into play. Just kind of right over here, up in there, maybe a little bit here. Okay, and that can go right over that indigo night. And see what a pretty color that creates. And oh, I forgot. So we need to come in from the other edge. So I'm going to pick up a little more of that indigo. And we're going to come over this way as well. A little of that gray with it. There we go. Okay. And I'm just kind of cleaning off my brush now, just what's left. And get that edge. Maybe get a little bit of medium with those colors now, and you can kind of tap in a few places. There's little wisps of clouds all over the sky. It was incredible. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. So I've been saving this one for something to paint. All right, so I'm going to pick up a little more of that violet pansy white and gray. And we're going to soften some of these edges. Okay, I think that's pretty good for now. Let's see, I think I want to come back to some more violet pansy, and I'm just going to get the indigo night with that. That's going to make a really pretty bluish purple color. All right, so right in here, ooh, look at that. All right, so I'm going to put some of that right in there. Let's get a little bit of white. And I'm just going to kind of scrub that edge so that it blends with it. A little bit more white. Come back to that color because I lost it with that white. Okay. There we go. So bringing those colors together now, because you're using both that indigo night and the violet pansy, they come together nicely. If you just pick up one on one corner, one on the other, and scrub those in, they come together very pretty. Okay. A little more of those two colors, maybe a little deeper on the blue. And we're going to bring those kind of straight across. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to be done with this big brush now. And I'm going to switch down to my smaller mop brush. Load that with some medium. All right, and I'm going to pick up some daffodil yellow. All right, and so now I'm going to start to address this from horizon forward, so working from the back to the front, because this would be the closest part up here to me. So down here I need to put in some yellow. That I want just a touch of white in with that. It's a little more vibrant than I want it to be. There we go. And I'm just barely touching the chisel edge of this brush on my canvas. And I'm coming right in between. Now this is God's canvas, let me tell you. You could pretty much put any of these colors together and it would be a beautiful sunset look. All right, I'm going to grab a little bit of this orange with that. Okay, and we're going to come right in here. And notice the different tones of orange I get based on whether I go over this pale blue or this darker purple background. Okay, a little bit of orange and the daffodil. Just kind of sputtering this side to side, scrubbing it into the canvas, and still letting some of those other colors, the background, the purple. Okay. And I'm going to get a little bit of magenta. I didn't think I saw something in there before, but I do see it now. Don't need much. All right, so let's get a little magenta worked in with that brush. Okay, and so right up here, you're seeing little bits of that with the darker blue kind of peeping through. But that's definitely cloud reflection, so it wouldn't be off in the sky over here on its own. It's reflecting off the clouds. Okay, so that's about as much magenta, maybe a little bit more. I just spotted some down here. There. Let's grab a little medium. Okay. Now I'm going to wipe that magenta off. We're going to come back to, let's just get pure orange and some white. And let's come up here. Well, first let me come through this way. So this kind of comes up like that. Putters over here. I don't want to completely cover my purple. I'm going to grab some of this vibrant orange, all right? And I want you to see the difference, that versus this. Okay. And then vibrant orange with a touch of white is going to pop that up just a little bit more. So we need a little bit of this white up in here, and then that's going to help that orange to show a little better. There. Right over the top of it. Okay, now I'm going to come back in with whatever color is on my brush, and I'm going to blend it with white. Let's get a little bit of yellow in there also. Okay, so let's come through here. A little more white. and work that in. I don't want to see white, I just want a lighter color. Okay, let's come get some more of this orange. All right, now I'm going to wipe off this brush and I'm going to do some finishing touches on these darker clouds. Okay, so I want to get some of this indigo night and gray again, and we're going to come in here and strengthen some of this inside, not the edges but just some of the inside. Okay, so like over here, this needs to be stronger, dark. There we go. And I'm staying away from the medium because I felt like that thinned it just too much. And right in here, with a little bit of that purple. There we go. And I think that's going to help those oranges pop a little more too. I'm letting those orange areas kind of dry because we have one last thing I want to do to it. I'm going to get just a touch of that light blue with that indigo night, and I'm going to come right in here. There we go. So this is just kind of fun. You're kind of creating your own little mosaic of color. All right, now I'm going to use an angle brush here. This is a 5/8 angle brush. I'm going to get that damp, and I'm going to load it with medium and then side load this vibrant orange and get a touch of white. And this is on the toe, right? So vibrant orange with a touch of white. And we've got medium. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to come along the bottoms of some of these brighter areas, and I'm on the chisel edge, and I'm going to push down and come back up to the chisel. A little stronger white. Let's do that again. Here we go. Maybe a little bit of yellow with that. So you're lighting, think of the light source. The light source is coming from down here, from behind the clouds here. And so it's lighting them up, or at least behind the clouds as far as you can see. It's lighting them up, and then you have these just little streaks of lit on the bottom areas. Maybe I need some of this stronger orange. That might be what's, there we go. Okay, so can you see what I'm doing here? I'm coming through and just kind of dropping that in here. Right here. There. And then it trails off as these clouds kind of wisp away from where the light's hitting them. Okay. And right here, maybe a little bit of white in there. So it lets you trail and then have thin ends, which is really what these do. So behind them there could be dark, you know, this blue, but what hits, the sun hits, is lit up with these oranges and pinks and yellows. I'm going to wipe that off and get some daffodil yellow, medium daffodil. And then now I can come in and get some wispier down here. So it's more definition with a flat brush. You don't really get that with a mop, right? So once you get the colors laid in, then you can come in with this angle brush and add more of that kind of detail to it. Right there. See how it lit up the bottom of that cloud? Okay, so I think with that, let me do a couple more of these and I think we'll be in good shape. Because after this gets on here, this orange kind of looks a little flat, so we want to pop it up a little bit. So you're layering in different tones of yellows and oranges. But don't lose that purple. Okay, so then to finish this out, I'm going to take a flat brush. So this is an 8 flat. Okay, and I'm going to just get that with a little bit of water and some of the indigo night and blue. And we're going to kind of create a few last little wispies out here. They were all over the sky that night. Like I was saying, this was, I think, coming from Central Florida, coming from Tarpon Springs back towards the Orlando area on whatever highway that is. I don't think it's 4, I think it was something else, but anyway. We have some beautiful skies in Florida. Now you can also come back in with some of this medium blue and fill in some areas maybe where you wanted that to be more that blue color. So that's turning into quite the beautiful sky. Okay, I am going to call that, I think, done. I could spend a lot more time on this, but I just want you to see. So we've got all these different colors at play here. If you go back and look at my original photograph, all right, you'll see some of this. It's not the entire sky, but it's a majority of it. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you will come back and catch my next demo in a couple of weeks. So thanks guys for watching that.